Welcome to SharePoint JSON list formatting training. In this training, we're going to look at how to set up a date formatting template, which will allow for a date field to be interactive directly on the list view. In this template, you can click into the date to update it directly on the list view, and also we're going to add increment and decrement buttons left and right of the date so you can bump the date up and down easily. If you're interested in learning how to do JSON formatting for SharePoint lists, this training is for you. Let's begin. Okay, here I am at the training content. This is linked below in your description. Make sure you click that and open it in another browser window so you can follow along. If this is your first time going into this training, make sure that you read the information under the introduction and prerequisites, as well as resources. Those were explained in depth in a previous video. We're going to be doing date input, so we're going to jump to that part of the training. In order to do this, you're going to need to go to your practice list and create a new date field. I've created one that I called Start. You can see it as the second to last column. I've got that ready to go on my SharePoint list. Now, at the top of the training, we're going to see how it's going to look once we deploy this. So we can go ahead and check this out. We've got buttons here. We kind of get the idea of what it is that we're going to build. And we're going to apply that upon a date field. And then at the top, it shows us the HTML. It's always good to understand what HTML we're trying to produce. JSON coding is instructions to SharePoint on HTML. It tells it which HTML to produce, to hold the data, and then how to format that data. In our case, we've got a div container, and inside of that, we've got a button for the decrement. This will have a little minus on it. Then we're going to hold the date field and another div, and then another button, which will be the plus button. That'll bump the date up by a day. So that's the HTML we're going to produce. As with all formatting templates, we need to start by specifying the schema so SharePoint knows which type of template we're going to do. We're doing a column formatting template. So there it is. If you look in the code, you don't have to memorize this. This is just the starting point for all column formatting templates. This is our outer div. We can move on to the next part. And it says that we need to add a button followed by div followed by another button. This is the HTML that we just looked at. And then we also want to set the text content attributes. This is going to show what's displayed inside of these elements. And to do that, we can use this @current_field token. You can click on that link if you want to learn more about how that works. Okay, so here's our expanded code. You can zoom in and take a closer look at that. Here's our outer div element, and then we have a children specifier. That means these other elements are going to be inside of that. So there's the button element, followed by the div element, followed by the button element. And then we're using these text content attributes to specify what's going to be inside of those elements. Okay, we're ready to go on to the next part. We're going to be using the inline edit mode for the date. So we need to make sure that's specified. And then we also are going to need to use this custom row action attribute and specify an action input so that we can update the date if they click on that plus or minus button left and right of the button. So now it gets a little more interesting. Let's take a closer look at our code. This is the same code now expanded. For the button, we have a set value attribute. So the date field does need to be updated. In my case, I changed it to start. You're going to need to replace that. You can do that in the code editor on the right. You can naturally use whichever field name that you want. And then I've got this add days function. This does what you might think. It just updates whatever value is in the current field, and it's bumping it. The one on the left subtracts, so I put -1. The one on the right adds to it, so I put +1. And then here's that inline edit field attribute. If you click directly on the date, you can just manually update it that way as well. All right, moving on. The next code, we need to do some styling. We're going to represent the Microsoft color classes, and that's done using these color references. Those are linked in the instructions. And also we want a hover effect. We want people to be able to know that these buttons are clickable, so it's real obvious for them. So now we've expanded out the code, and we've got attributes for color classes, and it tells the system to use these classes to style those buttons and change their appearance. Okay, in the next part, we're going to do some more CSS styling, and we need the style nodes in order to be able to do that. So what we want to do is set a cursor attribute that's going to make the cursor look like a pointer when we hover over the buttons. And we want to control the font size and font family as well, set the border, and then we need to explicitly specify height and width, as well as a border radius. All of these styling attributes are things that you can play around with. You can tweak those and make adjustments to see how it will affect the template, and you can personalize it according to your own taste. So this is duplicated in the case of both buttons. We're using the same styling on both buttons, so you can do some copy and paste, and you can see exactly what we're specifying, the things that were described in the description and the instructions. So I want to specify the cursor, the font size, font family, etc. You can see how that would work. Okay, we have one final step. We need to do styling on the date input. So we did the buttons, and now the next step is to style the date input. We have a special property provided to us in the Microsoft API, which is the inline editor border color. And that just means a hover border color that appears when you hover over the field. This clues the user into the fact that they can edit the field. And then we're doing some other things. We want to control the width and the font size of that data input and make other adjustments to that. So now we're adding the style attributes into the middle part of the code. And this is for the div, the date div. So that's everything in this section. We're applying styling to that. What you can do and what you should do is make adjustments to that. You'll better understand how these templates work by making your own code adjustments, especially with the styles, to see how those work. Another thing you're able to do is click this live preview button, and you can see some examples of how it might look. If you click on these theme options, you can see that by making some subtle adjustments, you can control the appearance of your data input field according to your own preferences. So that's also useful to help you see some possibilities in terms of what you might do. We're ready to go. So what we want to do first of all is click Copy to Editor. Recall that we have to put in the name of the field that's being updated. This is not going to work unless you do that. So in the action input nodes, we need to put that. I called my field Start. You may name your field whatever you like, but you must update in this provided code to provide that field name. So I'm filling that in. That's the only adjustment I needed to make there. So now I can click Copy. I can hop back over to SharePoint. And then in SharePoint, I want to go to the column header, column settings, format this column, advanced mode. Now I'm ready to paste my code in, hit save, and there you can see the appearance change. So now you can see I've got buttons next to my dates, and then additionally I can click those buttons to bump the dates up by a day or two. So this is a way to make things easier for users in a situation where they just want to make quick adjustments to these dates. Maybe they need to push out a deadline a couple days quickly, and it just saves them from having to click into there and do the date picker. So it's just an additional option. Okay, so that was the date input template that's available in the SharePoint JSON formatting. I hope you found that interesting, and I encourage you to make adjustments to it just to see what kind of different appearance you can come up with. Of course, by using those style attributes, you have a lot of different options. There's many other training modules here in this JSON training that you can go through to learn and better understand how coding works when putting together formatting templates for SharePoint lists. I hope you found that useful, and we'll see you in the next session. Good luck.